Welcome to Garden Plants with Jim Putnam. Let's talk Buxus sempervirens Aureovariegata, otherwise known as variegated boxwood. So this is a variegated boxwood, which typically would have kind of a low mounding habit or a roundish habit or whatever habit you want. We've actually turned this one into a two-ball topiary, and we have a single-ball topiary we'll show you here in this video as well. But it'll show you the versatility of this plant right out of the gate here. This variegated boxwood will start off with the new growth in the spring and into the early summer. The variegation has kind of a white edge to it, so it really pops. As the season extends, and we're shooting this after Christmas, the variegation becomes kind of a pale yellow color on it. It's incredibly bright, incredibly useful. Although it doesn't have to be in the shade, it can be in sun or shade. In part shaded places or places where you have long shadows, this can really add a bright pop of color. And of course it's evergreen, so it's a year-round bright pop of color. Although boxwoods are flowering plants, we're not really typically growing them for flowers. We're growing them for their ability to be in formal shapes and sizes and add year-round interest to the garden, and this variegated one certainly does that. We're in the process of limbing this one up into like a one-ball topiary. You saw the first one over there is a two-ball topiary, but the normal habit of this is just going to be a dense mounding shrub, and you'll see, you might buy this plant with a tag on it that says it gets 4 to 6 feet in height or something like that, but there's nothing that tells this thing when to stop growing. So they can get as tall as 10 feet wide, 10 feet tall, and 6 to 8 feet wide, something like that. Typically slightly taller than wide when I've seen this plant just allowed to grow without any pruning. But it could be kept as low as 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet. So your choice. What will happen with any kind of leafy evergreen plant like this is initially when you plant it, it's probably not going to do a whole lot of growing. Boxwoods tend to be slightly slower than other things anyway, but it will pick up in time. And once it has really well-established roots under it, you'll probably get 4 to 6 inches of growth in a single season. Zone 6 to 8, these tend to be a hair less cold tolerant overall. Most of the boxwoods are going to be listed in zone 5 to 8 or 5 to 9. This one's a little bit more heat sensitive, a little bit more cold sensitive, so comfortable saying zone 6 to 8 for sure. So while we think of boxwoods as being full sun plants, and you'll probably get the fullest, most compact habit in the full sun, I wouldn't shy away at all from having this in the part shaded space. It'll stretch just a little bit more, but it really adds a pop of color into a shady space. Uses, we would think about these as a formal hedge like any other boxwood. It can be topiaried, as you've seen already in this video. Great container plants. In zones 7 and 8, you could probably leave the container just outside unprotected all season long. In zone 6, you probably wouldn't want you wouldn't want it to stay frozen for a long period of time. Great specimen plant, accent plant. So just, you know, as a one-off like we've done here in the garden, or again, obviously in some sort of hedging or group planting, incredibly showy. Perfect foundation plant, perfect along walkways because it's not stabby. You know, it's the perfect, well-behaved plant to park next to a sidewalk and not have it get in the way and be able to control the size on it. Great in an English garden or any kind of small space garden as well. Boxwoods are generally just considered very low maintenance plants. One thing I will say is they have shallow root systems on them. And so as I say that they're great full sun plants, I would definitely make sure that the roots are mulched on them, help regulate that soil temperature. Is very helpful with some of these shallow rooted shrubs that we grow in our gardens. Pruning, you can do heavy pruning on these in the late winter, early spring, if you really needed to size control a large one without any kind of problem. I wouldn't prune them toward late summer because sometimes pruning some of these leafy evergreen shrubs will stimulate growth on them, so I don't want to get a late flush of growth because I was pruning on it. So keep your pruning done between kind of late winter to early to midsummer, and you'll be fine on that. We fertilize this entire garden once a year with an organic fertilizer in like February or March, and that's it. That's all this is getting. If it's in a container, if you're using it as a container plant, and we do use these as container plants, you may need to fertilize a little bit more than that, in a container. But in the ground, really doesn't need a whole lot. Moist, well-drained soil is best. Fine and sandy soils, fine and clay soils, you can mound them up a bit if you're planting in clay soils. They're pH adaptable. Typically, you know, our soil here is slightly acidic, but they'll take, boxwoods tend to take slightly alkaline soils as well. Deer resistant, rabbit resistant, all of those things. You know, boxwoods can have a few problems, mites and other things, but typically if they're planted well established and kind of left alone and not pushed hard, and they're well mulched, you're keeping weeds away from them and just kind of generally taking care of them, very few problems on these boxwoods. But this variegated boxwood is one of our favorite pops of color here in the Raleigh garden, and lots of people watching the video can grow them. Thanks for watching.